back to me. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. You won't bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, is enough, is enough. Enough is enough. Bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us. Bring us down.
Hey guys, welcome back to Queen of the Indies Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host as always, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany, and today I got my good friend Vaughn Vertigo. Welcome, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Good. We were having some fun off the,
Yes.
off the
Yes, we
air.
were.
That it was like, maybe we're not gonna make it to the podcast.
Yeah. No.
So it's gonna be a fun one. So guys, make sure you share the stream, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys got questions for Vaughn, please feel free, drop it into the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So if you're new here, again, I do everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, backstage, I got you covered. So I think we're gonna start off hot, like, because
Oh boy. Okay.
no, it's all good. It's all good.
We'll start off hot. All right.
I'm dropping it like it's hot on this channel.
Let's go.
So I usually like to ask the wrestlers, like, kind of like, what's a match that they would recommend for a fan that's never like seen you wrestle before. But I feel like we have to start with this one because I feel like this one's a hot enough one that everybody should watch if they're not familiar with and everything, with you and Michael Oku at Smash Wrestling, which is on YouTube. If anybody is interested, haven't watched this. I had to rewatch this the other day because, like, when I was going through my questions, I'm like, we're opening with this. So I made the decision for you.
Yeah. I mean, what do I have to say about it? Like, that's a match I wanted for so long. Like, I met Michael back in, I think, 2018, when I was over in England. He had broken I think he broke his wrist. And then I got put into a match of his. I like replaced him in a match, and that was the first time I met him. And then like I went back home to Canada, and then all of a sudden he like rose to who he became and like progress, and he was fighting like Gunther and all this stuff going on. And then we had like a 6-man scramble, and we've had like an 8-man tag, and I was like, damn, like I really want to have a one-on-one with Michael. And then finally I was talking to him one point, and he was like, yeah, I'm like trying to get to Canada, and I'm like, hey, I think I can help with that. Reached out to some companies, and they made it happen. And they put Michael and I together at Smash, and that was probably my favorite match from last year. Yeah, probably.
That's why I was like, okay, this is the match. Like,
yeah,
we have to talk about this. I was like, because I feel like it's a good match to kind of start with if, like, you know, they're listening to this podcast, never seen you wrestle before. I feel like this is a good start for it. So, yeah, check that out. YouTube.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm very proud of that one. I also like I'm very happy it was kind of Michael's. I guess I'm very happy to be Michael's introduction to Canadian wrestling as well. I tend to be that guy. It seems recently that I'm kind of the guy who's helping get all these international talents into Canada. I love our talents, but I also think it's cool to have like a guy from Ireland or a guy from Japan or whatever. Like I try to be very like an advocate for the foreigners.
Yeah, it's really neat because I think also too, like after COVID, that I feel like we've been starting to get a lot more, all over the place, so I
Yeah.
know, like, I definitely want to talk about C4 wrestling, which I feel like is like a home for you and everything like that, but I know like a
Yep.
lot of people that have come on this podcast, like C4 is the bucket list for the wrestlers
Yeah.
in the States and
Yeah.
everything like that, so having that cross, to like from the States to Canada, or we see people like Mexico or like going overseas and everything, and people overseas are coming here. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing for like the indies.
And I feel like for years I would ask people if I was in the States or wherever like what they knew of Canadian wrestling, and most of the time they didn't really know anything. But when they did know something, it was usually C4 or it was Smash because they had like a streaming partnership with like Progress and whatnot.
Right.
But like for a lot of American wrestlers, C4 was the place people like they would come up. Like that's when like Biff Busick was breaking out. He came up into the States, and like Mark, who runs C4, I think has a very good finger on the pulse for like the like upcoming talent, and he'll bring them up to Canada before they kind of get seen. I think Janela, same thing. Like what 2012, 2013, he started coming up to C4, and then like he blew up in the States.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So crazy. Wait, let me give some love in the chat right now. Desmond Cole's in the chat. I know he just made his return. I'm waiting for that to come on IWTV at Limitless. So congrats for coming back. He said, need to get in there with him. He's way too fire. And he's got a bunch of emojis of the little fires. Like,
I would love to wrestle Desmond, please. That would be fucking awesome. We're swearing. It's fine.
oh, we're good. We're good. No swearing. Where's Dan Housing?
He ain't cursing me. I'm not going through that again. He already put teeth down my throat. So
That's too funny. Yes, I feel like I know a company that would run that run that. I mean, pretty much. So, I feel like that, again, like we said, so much possibilities with the world of indie wrestling and the crossovers between so many different people, which is like amazing. So I don't know. It's funny that like we say that because it seemed like this became a thing that I just like, I announced you on the podcast and people were like, I gotta work him. So I had Darian Bengston on last week.
Yeah.
So he also said that he's like, when are you guys gonna wrestle? Because he's like, I need that match. He said live on the podcast.
I think it's incredibly flattering and definitely stroking my ego to hear all this. But to me, like I've wrestled for so long, like over a decade, pretty much exclusively in Canada. So for me to come to the States and like people want to wrestle me that I had no idea knew I existed is super, super cool. And like I have 9 months left on my visa, so please take advantage of this.
Yes. Oh, that'd be great.
I will drive down. That's no problem.
That's cool. No, I think that's neat. There's a lot. There's a lot from Canada here that I know would love to get into the ring. I know that I need you and Matt Vertigo to happen, and I'm sure like you've seen that on social media.
Yes, we've been talking about this for years. It needs to happen. My cousin, brother, whatever you want to call him, Matt Vertigo, who's very, very tall. And I am not.
But that's what make it like really, really good, right? It's kind of like Ben Bishop kind of thing too, right? Like Ben's like huge, and then it's like
no, but I really do want to like debut as like a relative of his. And we just won't. Nobody's gonna question it, right?
No.
Exactly.
I feel like it'd be a good tag team too. So it's like you guys wrestle each other, have that match.
That's true.
And then you come into like tag team, and it's like Team Vertigo, pretty much. Right?
That or the Vertigos.
I like that.
The Vertigogos, the Vertigogo boys. There's a few options.
I'm here for this. Somebody make this happen. I feel like this could happen or a little bit with that. So.
I hope so.
All right, so I mean, we're gonna talk more wrestling, but give us a little more of like a background for you again, like like maybe someone that's is not familiar with you, like what made you get into wrestling and all that.
Yeah, so I didn't really know what professional wrestling was, but I had a friend growing up who coincidentally his aunt was Trish Stratus. Which most people are like, that's crazy. Which yes, it is crazy. In hindsight, I didn't know what wrestling was, so I'm just like, yeah, he has a famous aunt. I don't know. And like we'd he would do like speeches about her, and we would play like, you know, SmackDown versus Raw or like whatever the first like Here Comes the Pain or whatever. And like I'd go through the like I didn't know any wrestlers. I'd be scrolling through and I'm like, that's your aunt. That's crazy. And also because it was like grade 5 or whatever, everyone's like, dude, your aunt's so hot. And I felt so bad for him. And I still feel bad for him to this day. But that was kind of my introduction to wrestling. I started playing like video games with my friend because his aunt was in it. And that evolved into like watching Friday Night SmackDown every week, and then pretty much forcing my parents to buy the Score in Canada so I could watch Raw. And that's around like 2006, 2007, and then I just got hooked to watching wrestling. You know, every Monday, every Friday, and getting the pay-per-views. And I would be like the host of like everybody coming over. So you know, there'd always be like 10 kids in my house.
Wow.
And bless my dad for like buying like pizza or whatever for that. Like he was the man for that. And then I started training when I was like 14. So that was 2010. I found out there was a school in Toronto and I started going there. So my trainer was in the same class as Edge and Christian.
Wow.
So he's from the same like era as them. Yeah. And yeah, my trainer is mostly known for like training like a lot of the knockouts from years ago. Like he trained like Angelina Love and like Gail Kim and a bunch of the knockouts from like the TNA era. Yeah, and then I started having matches when I was 17. Yeah,
Look at that.
That's 2013, so that's 12 years ago, which is terrifying.
Time's going way too fast. Like,
Yeah.
you guys need to cut it out.
I
Stop
know,
it.
I
Like,
know.
pretty much. Let me give more love in this chat. Sammy Diaz is in the chat. He said,
Sammy.
"V guy."
Sammy,
Alicia's
you
in
beat me. We have heat, but it's fine.
yeah, we're going to talk about that match in a few. Alicia's in the chat just to talk about Canada. Love that. Mike
Okay.
Skyros, you're so sad that you're like, I can't believe you platformed this.
Oh, Mike's gonna shit on me. I know he will. Is that what it is? Is he like mad at me because I broke up with my tattoo? Yep. He won't let this go. It's hilarious. Actually, is it hilarious? No, I think I'm over it. I'm annoyed at it at this point.
Mike is sad. Mike is always sad. I'm sorry. Hashtag make Mike sad. So
Hashtag make Mike sad. He's kind of
yes.
emo, right?
This
I don't
is
know.
the thing. We've been doing this for years. Me and Mike, we have heat. Hashtag make Mike sad.
He has heat with everybody, apparently. We have heat, and I didn't know it.
Much love. Everybody who's not following Mike Skyros,
Love you, Mike.
We'll give him some love too. So, all right. So let's talk about, since Sammy's in the chat. So we'll give him a little bit of of
Sure.
an ego.
Yes, let's give him a little ego rub.
hashtag top 5 pretty much. So recently you got to be at BST Wrestling. Pretty much you got to wrestle Sammy Diaz. I was there. This was an amazing match.
Yeah.
Anybody who hasn't watched this is on IWTV. Check out BST Wrestling again. So this is good. This was a good match. We were all like hyped for this match.
Yeah, that was super fun. And BSC was the first company to really like take a chance on me when the visa came through. And obviously getting to wrestle Sammy, who's like such a fucking cool guy, was perfect to have like the introduction that way. Again, would have liked to have won, but you know, this is not what happened. He won fair and square, which is fine. Am I still upset about it? Maybe a little bit.
That means you just got to come back and wrestle him again.
I will come back, and I owe BST very badly, but I need to come back. So
He's got a lot of belts. You know, Mr. Belt Collector.
Yeah, he
over
has
there.
too many belts. This is the thing. You can't. You know how you gonna fly with those? You can't.
He's got
Just
an
drop
intern.
some. Just give some to me. It's fine. Did you say get an intern?
No, he has an intern. Young boy.
Oh.
Young boy is the intern. We talked about this when he was on the podcast recently. And,
Okay.
You know, so shout out to Young Boy.
okay.
We love Young Boy, but he really is the intern over there.
I need me an intern. That's a smart idea.
See, you got to collect the belts, and then you get the intern, and then
I only
he
got one
carries
right
the
now.
belts.
Okay.
See, you're
Okay,
brainstorming
okay.
over here. That's what
I
you got to
see.
do. So, another promotion that like I feel like we have to talk about because this is just fun. Is Mystery Wrestling. Oh my god! Like,
Yes.
it's like so random. Like I would like this is probably like on one of my bucket lists that it's like I have to come. Well, I mean C4 is
Yeah.
on my bucket list. And then Mystery Wrestling. It's just, you don't
Yeah.
even know. You don't even know what you're
Ideally,
gonna get.
you can do a C4 and a mystery in the same weekend. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're very close together. And mystery, like it's one of these things that Uno. I was on the first show and Uno was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do mystery wrestling." And I was like, "Okay." So the concept's like nobody knows what's happening or anything. But the problem is like he was running it. I mean, he still is. He's running it in Almer, which is like a very small town outside of Ottawa in Quebec. And I'm like, I don't know if this crowd's really gonna like understand what they have here. And like the first show, there was maybe like 40, 50 people, and we did a fatal doorway match, which is, a very creative name. And then like by the second or third show, it was like 200, 250 people and like thousands of people watching online. I'm like, okay, they do understand what's happening here. But like 60% of the crowd is still French. They don't necessarily get all the jokes. And you'll watch some of the crowd.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know if they're really in on the joke or they're just here for a wrestling show. But we're mostly like working to the people online, right? And I'm so happy with what Uno has made. It's incredible.
Oh, this is great. And it's like on Twitch, so if anybody hasn't like watched that, like, I mean, you can't go wrong. Like, it's just fun. You don't know who's gonna show up. You don't know who's gonna be on commentary. Yep,
that's what's fun as well.
You got like AW guys that like show up. You never know. It's hysterical. Like, there's been some like really good things. Like Miracle Jen's been up there. Like, you just don't know.
Yep. That's what's amazing about it, right? I think that's something that why we all love the Royal Rumble, right? For surprises.
It's amazing.
And to just have a whole show of surprises is what people want.
Yeah. Definitely want something like different. Pluggo's in the chat. He goes, the V guy in the house.
Pluggo. Hello.
Love that. So another opportunity, which I think is very big, and I love the fact that a lot of wrestlers, even like here in the States and stuff like that, is like WXW in Germany. It's been happening like a lot. Like, even Landon Hale, like we've seen like Clancy go out there. Like, there's so many people that like we know. It's so amazing to kind of like see. So how is that, like, going from Canada, flying to Germany, being around the fans out there, not speaking the language? Yeah,
it's so cool. And anybody who's been to Germany will relate to this, that they like when you get a photo with them, they'll say, "Can we make photo? Do you mind it? Can we make photo?" Which I always think is so cute because of the translation and everything. WXW is amazing. It's the most professionally run company in Europe, let alone maybe the world, in independent wrestling. Like, it's just the production's there, the talent's there, like everything is there. You get like this whole reader of like where you need to be. You don't have to ask questions. You're picked up from the airport and everything. It's just like, it's so professionally well done. And I started wrestling there in, I think it was 2020. I had my first match, and then the pandemic happened, and I was like, I need to get back so badly. And thankfully I did, and I wrestled Psycho Mike there and representing Smash Wrestling, and then that turned into coming back for a bunch of other things for like 16 Carat Weekend and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely one of those things when like wrestlers say they want to get out of America or Canada, or they want to do something new, like go to WXW, go to their school, learn from them there. Like, it's just, you're gonna have an incredible experience no matter what.
Yeah, that's really.
And you can make photos with the fans. It's the best.
Is there anything that you would like take from there that you feel that should be incorporated here?
Professionalism. Not that every company isn't professional, but it's just they have it like really down to a T. Maybe that's just a German thing. Could just be that they just like, they're really good with their timing and everything. Production for sure. Like, I know the guy who Alan Taylor, who does production for Smash Wrestling, was flown over to Germany to help teach them some things.
Oh wow.
Now their production is like, I think they had somebody from NXT UK who's doing it now, I believe. Could be wrong on that. But it's just, if you look at any of their content, it's just like, it's like TV quality ready. And some companies can do that in the States, but I think you need the right people and the right team to be able to do that.
Definitely need a village, right, to like make it happen. Pretty much. So it's pretty cool, like just the stuff of that what we see, like compared to growing up and the indies of what we have, and that it's like, I didn't know, right? Like, I
never used to get footage like before the pandemic in Canada. There were so many companies that would like, they'd film on like an iPad and like it's facing the turnbuckle, and you're like, I can't see anything and I can't use this footage, and the match didn't happen basically. Now it feels like most companies at least have the finger on the pulse that way.
Company, I get so mad every once in a while I go on a tangent pretty much about the fact that it's like, I hate the promotions that do not put their stuff out.
Oh my god. Or like you have a match that's like really important to you, and you're like, oh, I can't wait for it to release in like a week, and it doesn't come out for like 6 months. And it's like, well, 6 months from now, nobody gives a shit. No offense. Like it needs to be out now. We're in this like era where people are watching on Twitter, and if it's gone, it's gone. Like it's just if it's not live, at least have it within like within the first week. Hopefully, hopefully.
But I hate those like hoarder ones. Like they record, but then they don't like release a period, and it's like there's good
or it's on
cards
like the
out
local. Like we have a lot of like local, like it's on Bell 5 or like Kojiko. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys are even making money off this. Just put it on YouTube or something, please.
Yeah, something. There's like some. I always say that it's like it's very cheap. You could, I mean, like, listen, you can take a phone like an iPhone now,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Put it on a tripod, and it's great.
Yes.
Shh, this kid's like picking up things. Anyway, it's great quality. Even if I am fine with it just in one spot in the background recording the match, I'll take that over not seeing the match.
I agree. That's why I think like a lot of us when we started wrestling, we're like, hey, would you mind filming my match for me? Because we just know we're just not going to get the footage, so we'd have to take it upon ourselves to do it.
This is why you need an intern.
This is why I need an intern, and come to think of it, I think that's what Young Boy did for Sammy for our match. I'm pretty sure, but we did get our footage, so shout out to BST for that.
Yeah, shout out to BST. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I love Young Boy. Eventually, like, I'm gonna have him on the podcast or whatever. Like that. I love Young Boy. I think he's like really, really good. The first time that I even seen him wrestle, that I'm like, okay. I was like, I see. This is like the next Ichi. I was like the next Ichi pod.
Yeah, he wrestled Ichi. I think the show I was at. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So it was like the opening match. I think it was. And,
yep.
Well, yeah. So I see big things for him. Good Cop, Bad Cop's in the chat. What's going on? He goes, heading back to start to catch up on the TV. Okay, cool. You catch up and you let me know when you're caught up. So, all right. So since you travel a lot and then you drive yourself down, like you've come down to Connecticut, like I know, like you're done wrestling open, like you've come down there, pretty much or whatever like that. So give us one of your best road trip stories.
Ooh, best road trip story. Oh man. A lot of them are from like very early on, I'd say. Like I myself and Gabriel Forza drove around Ultimo Dragon for a weekend, and that was, God, it's a long story. I'm trying to think how to shorten this. C4 got us to drive him from Ottawa to Toronto, which is about a 4.5-hour drive, and we dropped him off at his hotel like we're supposed to. And he's like, "Do you mind like taking like our stuff up to his room for him?" Like, yeah, no problem. And he was with his wife, so we carried her bags as well. And we opened the door, there's somebody sleeping on the bed, and we were like, oh, this is the wrong room. Somebody just like passed out in the bed. Like, how would they give us the key to somebody else's room? This is so messed up. So we went downstairs and like got the key changed, and it was like, oh, sorry, here's the right key. And then opened the door to the correct room. And as we're like saying bye to him, he's like, all right, so what time are you gonna pick us up in the morning? And we were like, what? Oh, Forza, what are you doing tomorrow? Like, nothing? Oh, I guess we're coming back. I guess we'll pick you up tomorrow. We had no intention of doing it, but because we weren't asked to. And when we picked him up in the morning and we had to take him to a Blue Jays game, we dropped him off and he gave us $20 each to go buy some food. We went and got tacos while him and his wife watched a Blue Jays game, picked him up, took him to the show. He did a show where he like wrestled Steve Corino, which we're pretty sure when we opened the room and it was the wrong room for him, we think that was Steve Corino's room and he was passed out in there. Oh, no. Can't confirm, never gonna ask him, but pretty sure it was him. And it's still such an awkward thing to think about. Oh yeah, what else happened? Oh yeah, then a fan wanted to take like the classic Ultimo Dragon photo with all the title belts, right? And he brought like double the amount, so Ultimo's like putting these championships on him, like being so nice. And he's like, his like arms are like struggling because there's so many championships on him. It's like, why did you force this man to take this photo again? Help! It's so messed up. And then we said bye to him, and then driving home, I got a flat tire and I had to stay in Toronto, and that was it.
Oh my!
Yeah, it was great. And then Forza and I shared a bed, and it was just a good time. I was like 19. It was a good time.
I was wondering, like, like when you walked into the room, you saw the person like sleeping. Did they like budge? Yeah. Like, did they like
no? They were just out. I remember seeing like there was like a suitcase on the ground, like a couple things of clothes, and I was like, this person like just opened their suitcase and like fell asleep. We're pretty sure it was Steve Corino because there was only 2 people at that hotel under the promotion's name, so it must have been, unless they just gave us the wrong room. We don't know. Yeah. Very fun.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Blowout tires. I saw one of those guys today posted about that. Like literally like blew out like while I was driving today. I'm like, oh, that sucks to be you, like on the highway, like
Yeah, not great. I hit a nail or something and it just
yeah.
like I'd never changed a tire before. I had no idea what I was doing.
No. Poor guy. Pretty much.
Still don't know what I'm doing, to be fair.
All right. So let's bring back an old school question from Queen of the Indies corner pretty much here. So craziest thing a fan's done to get your attention. We've had some crazy stories
I
on
don't know.
this podcast. It's been a while since I asked this one.
I'm trying to think. I don't even know. What were some of the answers people gave you before? I'm trying to think of anything that would pop in my mind.
I remember like
People don't like me. They're not fans of me, so I don't think it happens.
I don't know why. Like I always go back to like Joey Silver, who he had said that he came out for his entrance and somebody gave him their baby. He lifted the baby like Lion King.
See, the thing is, if somebody offered me a baby, I'd be like, ugh, no, I don't want to touch your baby. I don't know how to hold a baby. I don't want to.
I don't know why that one always like sticks out. Desmond Cole tells a story about the fan that threw a hot dog at him for no reason. Just like threw it at him, and I was like, did he ever tell you why? He said that he was just excited.
He was excited and threw a hot dog.
So
I wasn't excited for the hot dog, clearly.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I'm trying to think. I really can't think of anything right now.
Oh,
There's got to be something.
That just means the fans have to like amp their stuff up so that we have a story for the podcast.
Oh God, no! Don't do. Don't do. I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
Could
But
have some like good ones, no throwing hot dogs.
I would prefer if you didn't throw hot dogs at me when I'm wrestling, preferably. But I mean, suit your own, whatever you want to do. I guess.
That's pretty much like, oh man, that was yeah. So there's been some crazy ones. So if you think of if some like one just like pops,
Yeah, if it comes to my mind, I will for sure.
So all right, so we're gonna go into the fan tweet from Good Cop Bad Cop. So he has 3 questions for you.
Okay.
So the first one is, where are you stopping when you get hungry?
Depends. What have I been eating lately? It's been a lot of Chipotle lately. I was just traveling with Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, and they're very clean boys with their diets, so Chipotle. If I'm not being clean with my diet, though, I like a Texas Roadhouse in the States. Because my parents used to take me to them when we drive to North Carolina as a kid, and like it's always nostalgic to me. Mm-hmm. So if I have like an hour, might go Texas Roadhouse. Yeah.
Not the classics like the Crackle Barrel or Wawa or Sheets or
every
whatever?
time I do like Sheets. I do like Sheets very much. I know there's this whole Wawa Sheets debate.
That's the big
I
thing
don't
on
care.
this pod.
What side do you stand on?
Wawa.
Oh boy.
That's it. The podcast is
To
over.
be fair, I think I'm too uneducated in Wawa to really have an opinion, and also I'm Canadian, so what do I fucking know? But what was it? What'd you say? Sheets Wawa? What was the last one?
Crackle Barrel.
Oh yeah, Cracker Barrel. I've just never had anything I really enjoyed there.
Really?
Every time I'm like, it's okay. There's a
I
lot
like their
of old people
biscuits.
around.
Their breakfast
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I would get there is breakfast.
Yeah. I kind of like the
But it's
breakfast
just
there.
like there's a lot of old people around. I don't really like old people.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. I was
Oh my.
saying it.
That's where we're at. The old people. Sorry.
Wawa has a lot of old people. Sheets, younger folk. It's more my style.
Wawa has the good coffee though.
Is that what their thing is? It's coffee?
That's my thing. Like that's what I like
Okay.
there or whatever. Like
To be
that.
fair, I've not had Sheets coffee, so I'm usually just making a ridiculous sandwich.
I mean, like I go for like the sandwiches too. And
Yeah.
I think I've told the story on the podcast that I traveled with a wrestler. We were coming back from a show from Pennsylvania, and we stopped at Wawa. And I was like, I didn't want like a big thing. I wanted just like a finger food. So they had French fries that just got added to like the thing. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, let me just get French fries. He was
Yeah.
getting like a sandwich and everything like that. So we sit in the car, I'm parked, right? And like he's taking his stuff out of the bag, and then he starts eating my French fries, and then he's like, he goes, this is ridiculous how good he ate all my fries. I'm like, sir. I'm like, you ate all my fries. I'm like, you have a sandwich. I just wanted fries. I was like, I had to go back and go get fries.
I'm gonna settle this Wawa Sheets debate by just saying that you don't have this option in Canada. There are not gas stations where you can order and like customize a fucking sandwich. So both are winners to me, honestly.
Hey, listen, like when you're like, those are some of the things that are only like, I don't even have that in New York. I have to go to like Jersey or like whatever for Wawa. So I miss my Wawa. But like when I was doing a lot of shows in like Jersey, especially like the Mecca, and then you have the Wawa not too far over there. So it was always like, all right, gotta stop, gotta get the coffee, gotta get the sandwich. Pretty much. The accent really comes out when you say coffee. The coffee. That New York accent. That pretty much.
It's there.
So what is it? Oh, so Harry, the promoter of BST, I was talking to him yesterday, and he couldn't stop laughing at me because I guess it was the way that I said Albany. Or whatever. Albany. He just couldn't stop laughing. And I'm like...
Yep.
I'm like, all right. I was like, but I know it. Like, I mean, I've been podcasting for years that I have the thick accent. So it's like, I know. So, like, but yeah, the coffee. So,
coffee.
All about the coffee pretty much there. So, I do a pod. I drink coffee with Phil Cardigan randomly. We tried coffee. It's very, very bad. So. Nothing like terrible coffee. I saw Good Cop Bad Cop said only 1 minute out from live, so listening on my question. Vaughn is way too young. He'd be refused entrance. That Crackle Barrel. What are you saying about me? What are you saying about me? Damn, like, bro, like, you savage.
Refused entrance at Cracker Barrel. Yeah, you gotta be over 40, 45. I don't know.
Careful.
I'm not sure. Sorry, 26.
Thank you.
There you go.
Careful now. This is how it's getting on this podcast, pretty much.
Next time we do this, we're gonna sit down at a Cracker Barrel.
Yes, we gotta sit. You gotta do the Young Bucks thing that you have to take the picture.
They do that.
And
we can't do that.
Sit on the chairs and rocking back and forth. That's what it's
I do
about.
think that every single time. Yeah.
So
I did play Matt Jackson for Dark Side of the Ring, so I feel like we have a little bit of the connection.
See, so he's fine. We'll get him into Crackle Barrel. We gotta take him to a different one. It's not necessarily only. You must have just went to a bad one.
Yeah, probably.
So, well, actually, his second question, Good Cop, was Sheets or Wawa or other.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I think I would lean more Sheets just because I've had it more. Mm-hmm. I've been to gas stations in the States that also have that like same sandwich setup, but I can't remember what they're called. There's one in Delaware I went to. I can't remember. Then
there's Cumberland Farm. That's another one.
That's it. Cumberland Farms. Yeah, that was the one that I had
I don't like their coffee.
Okay.
So.
See, I'm never ordering coffee from there. That's the issue. I really should just to try it.
Now he's gonna go the next time that he goes into one of these. Expect the video on social media. Like,
yeah, tag you.
But you have to spell it the right way. It's CAWFFEE.
Coffee. Yes.
Okay, that's the way that it's pronounced.
Yeah, of course.
So
of course.
when you do the video, it's like I'm having my coffee.
Coffee. God.
So I'm gonna elaborate a little more on that. If you're gonna go have the flavored coffee, what is the flavored coffee?
I like just like a shot of vanilla in it.
You like a plain Jane kind of coffee? No, nothing like
I'm pretty
no hazelnut.
No, I do like some hazelnut. But it depends on like what I'm doing. Like if I'm looking for something a little sweeter, yeah, I'll go with like hazelnut, like a little vanilla shot. But most of the time, I just drink black coffee because I'm insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a plain.
I don't drink coffee for the taste. I drink it for the effects.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good Cop Bad Cop in the chat says interview from the rocking chairs out at front. Ooh, okay. That sounds fun.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we do one up front.
Yeah, there's a Crackle Barrel in Connecticut.
I think we should do it from the gift shop, actually.
Yes. We'll go around and or just like picture this like whatever.
It would look terrible on camera. It would just look like such a mess. It's so eclectic in there.
We'll bring Landon Hale too, so we'll have like very different accents going on pretty much. Like
that would be great. I just want to hang out with Landon Hale, to be honest. So
I love Landon. Shout out to Landon.
Hell yeah, as they say.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
pretty much. So, yeah, we'll just sit in the rocking chairs and then we'll go through the gift shops and then, we'll just.
It sounds like a relaxing afternoon. I think that sounds like what old people would like to do on a Sunday, to be fair.
My God. We're just here for the gift shop. I don't want your shit, okay? Like, damn. But like, I'm gonna go sneak in because I like their bacon, actually. So, I like
Okay,
their
fair,
biscuits and
fair.
their bacon. So it's like you can go hang out with Landon. I'm gonna go. Well, I'm old, right? So it's like,
Yeah, you're allowed entry. I'm not, so.
shit. It's like that. All right, and then his next question is, what's the best post wrestle meal? Ooh.
I mean, an obvious answer is pizza, I think. We're thankful that one of the companies up here, Barry Wrestling, is sponsored by Domino's.
Oh,
So they just
wow.
give us like 10 boxes of pizza. And just after a match, just sometimes before a match, you'll have one if you're really hungry. Yeah, I think pizza's a fair bet. Like, because it fills you up, and who the fuck doesn't like pizza?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Barry Wrestling's another one. I found it when actually I saw like Bobby Orlando had gone up there. So this is a nice
yes, that's
thing.
right.
This is why I tell everybody follow wrestlers, because this is how you find promotions and stuff like that. So
100%. Yeah.
I did not know about Barry Wrestling for a while, and then yeah, it took to like Bobby Orlando. I think he went up with Leo Sparrow.
Yep,
And I
Leo
think
was
that
up
they,
there for a bit,
yeah,
yeah.
I think they wrestled each other. I think that's how I found it, or whatever. Like
It could
that.
be.
So-
Bobby was one of the first guys from like the New England area that he started using kind of semi-regularly. Because for years, like before the pandemic, Barry's one of the companies I speak of when I speak of they had no footage. Like they had like Josh Alexander and Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood and all these guys coming through, and just we had these matches that just don't exist. But thankfully, after the pandemic, they hired Alan Taylor to come do their production. And now it looks incredible. So all their shows now are on IWTV.
Yeah, which is great. They're if you're not paying like $10 for the app for like IWTV, what are you doing? There's a million promotions
It's true.
on there.
It's true. I'm not sponsored by them, but there is a lot of options there. But I will say it would be nice if they had some 1080p streaming.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like, we're getting like up the ante on there too now that we have like the 1, 2, 3 on it now. So it's
Yeah.
like constant like live wrestling. It's like random matches. And I think that's great too, because it kind of gives you a door of like stuff from the past, stuff
Yeah,
current.
yeah. Which I think is awesome.
Yeah. Find a lot of really good like different wrestlers maybe you're not familiar with, promotions that you're not familiar with. So I'll sit here sometimes and just leave it on, like, oh wow, look at this. This is on from like, whatever, 2013
Yeah.
or something
It's
like
a really
that.
good idea, yeah.
So it's definitely like smart to put that on there. Good Cop Bad Cop said, just Google Crackle Barrel gift shop and this Bint's mind is blown. Who's buying ghost dog figurines for $40 after eating food? This is one hell of impulsive person. They have
You're
cute stuff. Don't knock it. I have some cute mugs.
This is
from
not
Crackle Barrel.
this is not a pro Cracker Barrel conversation right now. People are
I
really
like
hating on
Crackle Barrel.
You're the only one supporting them.
I'm trying to get sponsored now.
Clearly, it's not working.
They have cute stuff. They really do. But like it's always like packed though when you're going there and stuff, and like people.
Yes,
and
it's always
kids
packed with
and-
what? Old people.
Oh my.
Occasional families. They're there too. They want to enjoy breakfast. But you know what? It's ruined by the old people ambience.
Lishi in the chat says this podcast also doesn't drink coffee for the taste at this point because it's been so. Yeah. Like the few podcasts that we did, me and Phil, like I had to return I literally like went off and I was like, your coffee's terrible. It doesn't even taste like coffee.
Oh, really? That bad?
Like
Oh, jeez.
it's just.
See, because I don't have like any like I'm still like fairly new to drinking coffee. I only use it for the caffeine benefits.
Right.
I will suffer through anything, no matter how bad it tastes.
Damn. I need
I'll
some good
just
coffee.
drink it. Yeah.
Well, the last question with Good Cop Bad Cop was hot or iced coffee.
Hot, yeah. I mean, I don't mind a nice coffee. I just like something warm in my hands.
Yeah. Okay.
I also like to suffer when it burns my tongue. Because I never know when to take a sip of it.
All right, so we have a fan tweet from Laura. She goes, "Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?"
At Cracker Barrel. Say at Cracker Barrel after signing a wrestling contract of some sorts to celebrate with my fellow old people friends.
Oh my god. Damn, the salt that's like going on. I didn't even know like how the hell did we turn on Crackle Barrel over here. I really
Yeah, I don't know. We went off on them. I'm gonna be refused entry to the States because I don't like Cracker Barrel now.
What are you gonna do if like one of the promotions that you go to gets sponsored by Crackle Barrel?
Oh, come on. If it's free, that's a different story. If it's free Cracker Barrel, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh my god. All right, let's pay it forward. So, what's some names, specifically like Canada names, that you would like that probably aren't really like as known that you feel that we should know?
Okay, that's a great question. How long do you have? Honestly, there's so many. I'm so proud of our Canadian scene. It really like we just don't have the eyes that we should. And I know like a lot of people in Europe would say the same about theirs, or Australia, or wherever. There's a lot of people like number 1 and 2 for sure. Gabriel Fuerza and Lexi Nicole. They're the 2 people I came up with who deserve the world. Then you have guys like Mark Wheeler, he comes down to the States occasionally. Junior Benito and McRae Martin, who I'm sure you're familiar with. Of course,
pod. Yep.
Yeah, they're the best. They know what they're doing. London Lightning's coming up, and he's a really good kid. Zach Patterson's coming down to the States now too. He's another person who's really breaking out there. And then there's like younger people like there's a tag team called KPK that are starting to like really make their way along around Ontario, and Rajat Usher, same thing. Yeah, honestly, we have so many. Just if there's anything you do take from this podcast or from listening to me fucking ramble on, is just please support Canadian wrestling. Please look at what we have, because like it really is like such a talented scene, and I wish more people were paying attention to it.
What other promotions should they be paying attention to? So let's put that out there too.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about a couple, like obviously Smash Wrestling, C4, Mystery Wrestling, Barry Wrestling. Anything else that like the fans should be getting behind?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Barry Wrestling for sure would be another one. In Toronto, you have Demand Lucha, which like I know like Gringo Loco and a bunch of people are up there consistently. That crowd's amazing. That's one of the best crowds we have in Canada. Maple Leaf Wrestling's coming up now, and that's Scott Demore's promotion, which is obviously kicking off. There's stuff out in the West Coast like NEW and No Fate Wrestling that are really like popping off as well. 365 Wrestling out there as well.
That Maple Wrestling, because I've noticed that also too, like Alex Zane's been part of that too, so everybody knows like I love Alex Zane and stuff like that. Is that somewhere to watch? Like that was like one thing I wanted to like ask.
Yeah, it's on I think it's on Triller TV.
Okay.
So it's Scott Demore's company that he started after like post TNA exit. So originally he had another company called Border City Wrestling out of Windsor, Ontario. Now he's doing Maple Leaf Wrestling, and he owns the actual, I believe, rights to the original Maple Leaf Wrestling, which was run at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. So his whole thing is that he always wanted to run Maple Leaf Gardens, and he did that like 2 weeks ago now.
Wow.
And sold the place out, and I think we had maybe like 2,800, 3,000 people in there. And it was just so cool to see like these people that, who had been to shows there in like the 80s and 90s, who came back to see wrestling there again. Or people backstage that wrestled on these cards years ago. Like it was just such a historic moment. And Maple Leaf Wrestling, it seems to be like they're doing this like cross Canada national promotion tour. And I hope that's the case. And it seems like people are paying attention to it online. So if you can pay more attention, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. This is why I do these interviews, because there's so much, and I'm still learning.
So much.
I'm still learning myself.
Exactly. And that's just Canada. There's Europe. There's You ever seen the website WrestleMap.com?
No, there's the WrestleMap.com.
Yeah, so I forget the guy's name. I met him, or I talked to him years ago. He made this website called WrestleMap.com, and it's just a map, and it has like promotions near you and kind of thing. I don't know if it's been updated in a while, but it's really, really cool.
That's smart.
I always give it to like young wrestlers who are like, I want to wrestle in Arkansas or whatever. Like, look up the map, see what's there.
That's amazing. That's a great tool. That I didn't even know.
It's a great tool.
but for anybody. But this is why I always say, like, support your local independents, you know, like, to the fans out there, because like you'll find something, and that's how it starts. It's like you find one promotion, and that's what kind of started with me. It was like, okay, like I went with my friend who's a ref,
because you don't know anything, you don't know what exists, and then once you get into it, you understand there's more, right?
And it just takes that. And if like you follow like one wrestler, you know, and you're like, all right, cool, like I like this guy, so like where else is he wrestling or whatever like that, you know, and stuff. So that's what makes you keep going, and then you find, and that's what happened with me, and that like I find all these different people, and it's like, it's not just like me being in New York, you know, like I follow people like in what's it called, Germany, and then it's like the West Coast, you know, Canada, like it's crazy. It's like, what's, you know,
and now you know if they ever come to your area, you know, like what show they're at, or like if they're in Pennsylvania, like somewhat close by, you might go there. It's just, it's revolving all that way, right?
Yeah, it's great. Let's see what else. Stuff in the chat. Okay. So Pat says they have Halloween exclusives listed in May. What the fuck? Listen, they're already like, people are already advertising Christmas shit at like fucking Hobby Lobby. All right. So like, why are you surprised?
It's still too early for that, though.
Like, what am I clipping? Clip it, Tiff. That's the best answer ever. What am I clipping? Tell me, what am I clipping? Sorry. Alicia says, so many incredible Canadians. I've seen almost everyone listed live. So many promotions available online as well. Love Pro Wrestling. Alpha One Wrestling is another one that I've been seeing.
I forgot about those two. Yeah, Love Pro Wrestling, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling as well, and Alpha One Wrestling, yeah, for sure.
So I know like Gabby Forza, they've been up there for the Alpha One, and Bear Bronson, and I think TJ Crawford's a champion there, I think, right? Or did he lose the championship to with Alec Price? Did he lose it? Yeah, I think he did. See? I know my shit.
You do. And you know why you know that? Because on social media, they post about it.
Yes.
And because they're live, because they post their footage, that's why people know.
See.
Wink, wink to other promotions.
Gotta be, quick on it. It's on Thriller. I have been watching first show from November this last week, so it's free now, and I didn't want to pay $30 initially. Speedball Mike Bailey matches were ridiculous. Clip, what are you doing in 10 years? Clip. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can clip that one. That's fine.
Sounds good. I have one final question for you, and if anybody else has more, drop it into the chat, and then we'll go into everything that he's got coming up and everything like that. I like to leave on a really positive note. Wrestling positivity is my baby, pretty much. So is there anything?
Which is funny, because we've been a very positive podcast this entire time, with the exception of Cracker Barrel.
We're not negative on this podcast. We're very positive,
we're not.
But apparently Cracker Barrel's for the old people, and I'm old, so it's
that's where I draw the line. Okay, it's Cracker Barrel.
Anyway, back to wrestling with positivity. So is there anything that you could share, something maybe a fan's done for you, you've done for a fan, maybe a wrestler's done for you, or something you've done for a wrestler, anything that like speaks out to you that we wouldn't know unless you share?
That would be extremely vain of me to say something I've done for another wrestler, wouldn't it?
No, because there could be something that just like was like very, meant a lot to like another wrestler or something like that. Whatever.
But that's their story to tell. In terms of me, I feel like I'm just very blessed and thankful, especially this last year, of how many people who have supported me. Because when I got this US visa, it was a whole process to get that done. And when I announced it, there was so much talk online about me, which was so cool to see. And to have people like Josh Alexander and Mustafa Ali and Alex Shelley go to bat for me and, tell these promotions about me and tell them like, hey, you should book this guy because he's like really doing something. That's so special to me, to have these relationships with these people that like support me, and then to be able to like actually follow through with these companies and show up and prove that I am everything I've been talking about, and I'm not just some asshole with confidence issues on Twitter kind of thing. That's like a very positive thing, I would say.
Definitely. And I love that we have like even like the people that even like left like WWE and stuff like that, they come back into the indies, and just to see them putting over the ongoing talent and everything like that, like I feel like it's very important. Like I see like Donovan Dijak is making waves all over, which is great.
That's the thing. I've said this a few times, where years ago, I guess it was 2022, I put out a video after the pandemic, when I was going to return to Europe, and Mustafa Ali saw it on Twitter and tweeted it saying, this is great, like my promo's great. And I've said it to him in person, but like I don't think people in that position realize how important that is to have somebody with that view. Like he was in WWE to have that viewership. Like that got me onto like shows in like Scotland and England because people who had not heard of me saw him tweet this and said this guy's good. And people in that position have that power, and sometimes they don't realize that. So it's so good to see people like Dijak realize that they are able to actually make a difference that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to all the people that do that. It just makes it more interesting. And, sometimes I feel like it brings out the best in like you guys pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of matches just in general, like, that you pulling something out of your competitor that you didn't think was there.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. I
think
love
as Daniel Garcia said years ago, if one of us eats, we all eat. Which I like to think about often.
That's a good one. Yeah. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Alicia says, how much fun was Backyard Pro to do?
Oh boy. Are you familiar with Backyard Pro? Did you know about any of this?
No.
Okay. You're going to have to spend 6 hours of your time tonight. So.
Okay. That's fine.
You got 5 minutes for me to explain this? So Backyard Pro is this concept that I came up with my friends in Canada where during the pandemic we couldn't wrestle. So what if we had to go back to backyard wrestling?
Okay.
But we all had like new different characters kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be like a serious backyard wrestling show, and then it turned into like very comedy. So I produced this whole series where there's 3 seasons of it, where I played Geoff Hardy, which was pretty much what I was as a backyarder. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was basically just Jeff Hardy light. I'm from Cameron, North Dakota. Get that reference? Very stupid. So we have like Josh Alexander wrestling in his basement. We have a whole Tough Enough show where Josh Alexander is the coach.
Right.
We had like Ethan Page on it. RJ City's our commentator on some stuff. Evil Uno did some commentary. Psycho Mike wrestles a Rock. Wow. He wrestles a Rock for 2 weeks as well in an Iron Man match.
Okay.
There's a Royal Rumble Battle Royal. We have to be eliminated throwing into the pool. It's very stupid, and it's all on YouTube for free.
Oh, I love that.
It's just like a bunch of Canadian wrestlers having fun and kind of making fun of backyard wrestling, but also like being professional at the same time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that because Ty Hill was another one that was like very big into the backyard stuff, and he was sending me stuff because I liked it because it was just different.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, please take a look at Backyard Pro. It's probably, I don't know if I'll ever make anything better than that. I wrestle at a mini golf course. Like there's just that will never happen again.
Would you bring it back?
I thought about it. It's just timing. Like it was easy to do then because nobody had anything to do. Like we could schedule it, and I thought about doing a live show, and people have asked me several times, but it would just take so much of my time and effort. And I think there is a time and place to do it one day, but I don't know if it's right now.
I feel like there's like so much more like you could do or whatever like that. Now that you're like in the States, you could like also like you can kind of do that too with all the craziness and stuff like that. You could fight the
let me call up Josh and see if he's available to wrestle in the basement again. Let's see. God, my hope is like 10 years from now when Josh Alexander's like WWE champion or something. That
right.
They just like come across him wrestling in his basement with his like wife watching. It's so fucking stupid.
Love that. Oh man, definitely gonna go check that out because I really do like the backyard stuff. Ty Hill was sending me so much stuff between like even like stuff with Alex Zane like back then like.
Oh yeah.
It's good stuff. So
you'll love this. I've had a lot of compliments from people who know absolutely nothing about wrestling who enjoyed it, which is like the biggest compliment to me.
That's me. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm gonna go check it out. So
I'm gonna follow up with you on that. You better. Please.
I'll definitely check it out. Like that's awesome. Like I really love that. Good Cop Bad Tap says, Tiffany, if you want wrestling with positivity, you should read the reviews people give for Vaughn. Nothing but positive. Well, duh.
Yeah, really great wrestler. Nice guy. Hates Cracker Barrel.
Oh, God. He said, I saw the phrase vertigo. Catchy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people do that sometimes. People also chant vertigo home at me, which is not as nice.
Jeez. Well, I like that. That's so funny. All right, so let's talk about what you got coming up. So if the fans, want to come support you, see you, all that fun stuff.
For sure. What do I have coming up? So this Sunday I have Smash Wrestling in Toronto, the Northern Tournament. I'm gonna win that, hopefully. Hopefully. After that, I have C4 Wrestling. It's myself and Drea from Finance, as I like to say, versus Gabriel Flores and Lexa Nicole at C4 Wrestling. The Saturday, that's May 31st. Excuse me. May 31st is Top Tier Wrestling in Hamilton. And then June's kind of like a little empty. A little empty. I think I
Oh, we
want
need
to
to
fill
change
some
that.
dates there. We do need to change that. There's
Guys.
some dates that I'd like to get out to America for. It'd be
You
nice.
got some shows?
I'm just across the border. I have a car, guys.
There you
Please.
go.
I will drive.
There we go. We got some really, really good matches.
I
so-
will drive to Arkansas. Well, yeah, I would actually.
It's like, hey, whatever it takes for.
I don't know what there is in Arkansas. Is there wrestling in Arkansas? Oh, let me
Get
check
your map.
WrestleMap.com. I will get my map out. Let me see.
That's so crazy. You taught me something today that I had no idea. So it's good too, even for, like you said, the wrestlers and everything like that. Matt D'Angelo's in the chat. He goes, V Guy rules.
Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie's the man.
Love that. Rob, shoot me a message. I will talk. Let's see. So what else? So tell everybody where they can follow you if they're not following you already.
Yeah, I mean, definitely follow me because I need the numbers up, and if you don't, you'll make me sad. At Vaughn Vertigo on Twitter. I think it's at Vaughn Vertigo on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. I guess you just search Vaughn Vertigo for that too. Backyard Pro Backyard, at Pro Backyard on Twitter and all those things. Pro Wrestling Tees, Vaughn Vertigo. If you want to like give me money, that's pretty cool too. I think that's everything. I don't have Periscope, unfortunately, as we were talking earlier. You will not find me on Periscope.
Or whatever, like I guess it's like X really, or what was Periscope.
Oh, sorry, yes, it's
whatever,
X,
whatever
yes.
it is. Like I don't know, it's on my Twitter page. So like if you're
Yep.
watching me live, pretty much. So yeah, oh geez. So yeah. So I have all the links in the description below, pretty much. So you easy click for you. Is there anything else that you care to share that we didn't touch base on? I mean, I know there's like so much stuff, but we'll sit here for hours.
Yeah.
I try to like
I
pick
don't
and
know.
choose what we can chat about, you know?
No, I mean, if we did this podcast 2 weeks ago, I'd have a lot of like U.S. things to talk about, but I just got back from all that, so. But it was fun. I liked being in Seattle. I liked being in Portland. I liked being in Detroit. Well, not in Detroit, but
You were in Vegas too, like, you know.
yes, I was in
so-
Las Vegas. Yes.
Yes, wrestled Dan Houser.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. You know what I'm talking about if you were there or watched. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Awesome. So make sure you give him a follow. So
Please
tweet
do.
your favorite indie promotions to get him booked. So you know,
Yes, very
that would
soon.
be kinda nice.
In June, July.
It's been a little dry in the indies a little bit. I feel like, you know.
Well, I mean, like, it's nice out, and sometimes when you're going to a show and it's nice out, you're like, I think I'd rather be outside.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
I get it.
more of the
I get
outside
it.
shows though, like, you know. But I feel for like you
Yeah,
guys,
it's-
depending like where or whatever, like that. So,
Yeah, depending on circumstances. Yes.
yeah. So pretty much with that or whatever. But yeah, so thank you for coming on to the podcast, chatting with us a little bit. You know, I guess you know, this podcast is not sponsored by Crackle Barrel.
Just to clarify, this is
To
not
clarify,
sponsored by Cracker
we're
Barrel
still trying to get
or
sponsored
Sheetz or
by-
Wawa.
Wawa, please. I love you. Like, I love your coffee. I need your coffee.
We're working on coffee.
Anyway. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for all your tweets and your questions and all that fun stuff. So I am off next week, but I'll be back. Make sure you're following Queen of Indies Corner on all of the socials. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button for me. Leave me some love. So yeah. So stay safe. Support independent wrestling. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
Feeling miserable.